our spring haul. So in this video, we're just going to be showing some of our latest thrift finds. Sometimes it includes some vintage designer stuff, some new things, yada yada. So we'll get right into it.
I'm going to go in order of most recent to oldest, obviously. Sorry, brain fart there. Just got these today. Shout out to In Vintage We Trust in Parkdale. These are just some in the paint, which from the shop owner told me is like a 90s, early 90s, late 80s. Basically, they're licensed by the NBA to just do like streetwear via NBA brands and teams. So these are just some vintage Chicago Bulls. Probably throw those down with some sneakers in the summertime. They got pockets, which is nice.
Super cool. I'll definitely be wearing those too, just like high-waisted with a belt or something. I guess I'll start off with some shoes because I think the shoes that I've got recently are really exciting. So I'll start off with the ones that I found at Value Village. These are the first ones. Some vintage Aldo sandals. Just these really cool, chunky 90s heels. The label is so old. I don't even remember if I've ever seen their logo look like this, but just some vintage Aldo strappy 90s heels, made in Italy, which I don't know the last time that Aldo shoes were made in Italy. So got these. And then also picked these up at Value Village. They're pretty much brand new. Not really sure what the brand is. It says TSG. I'm assuming, honestly, some like grocery store brand or something. But I just thought these were really cute because they reminded me kind of those Loaf Randall ones that I have, the black ones with the ruffles up here, but just with a slightly higher heel. And they've also got this strap around here. So also kind of like the Jacquemus sandals that I really like. So kind of a cross between the two. And then yesterday when we went to the flea market at Downsview, which you will see in our vlog, whether it's posted or not, if it is, link will be below. But I picked up a couple of really cool shoes. There was this vendor that sold vintage designer and this just old European lady that had all this really cool vintage designer. So probably my best find of the day were these vintage Céline boots, which are just so beautiful, white leather, just kind of like 70s go-go boots. So got those. And these vintage Miu Miu sandals that are just this really cool lavender color with like a little toe cap, some slingbacks, which I don't have because I ran my other pair to the ground. I don't know, I just thought these were really, really unique and cool, and I don't really have anything like this. Kind of a little bit too big, so I still might sell them, not sure, but definitely going to wear them at least a couple times for the spring.
Next, I picked up, well not picked up, but I was gifted from Vans. Shout out to Vans. This Vans collaboration with Look Studios. It just has the Look Studios branding taped all the way down the sleeve there. I'm not sure if you can see because it's all black, but not just all the way down the sleeve. This collaboration actually just came out yesterday, April 21st, and they were nice enough to send it to me a little early, which is sweet. Just gonna wear it in the summertime. Probably with those shorts actually be a really sick look. It's a little zipper too, which can get my chest hairs that don't exist out.
And then the next thing I got was actually when I was back home near Detroit. And in downtown Royal Oak, one of my favorite vintage stores there is called Lost and Found Vintage. It's one of the really curated vintage stores, but not like the prices in Toronto. Definitely way better prices. I find Toronto vintage store prices are just ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't even bother. But anyway, just one of these vintage Coach bags, which I definitely had never really been interested in these until I got that vintage Coach backpack while we were in LA, and I just realized how durable it is. The leather is just so nice. It wears so well. It just makes a great bag. And the fact that it's vintage means that it's pretty much unbranded for the most part. It's just a nice little crossbody bag. Has a few pockets there, pocket in the back, nice long strap to go across the body like that. So pick that up. Shout out Lost and Found Vintage, downtown Royal Oak in Detroit. Definitely my favorite vintage store in the city.
Next for me, I have this Nepenthes Tokyo trucker jacket. And it's just, you see there, paneled with a little gray, or brown almost. If any of you don't know, Nepenthes is the store that actually owns the rights to Engineered Garments, South to West 8, Needles. It's my favorite store in New York. Nepenthes actually used to be the in-house brand that actually evolved into Needles, which is also one of my favorite brands now.
And then this next thing was actually gifted to me by my uncle. Basically, he was just over it because there was the tiniest little tear on the neck that you can't even notice. But it's just this Prada white button-up dress shirt And if you know me, you know I love my white button-ups, just white blouses. I feel like I have a million white button-ups, but it's nice to just have one that's a little bit nicer. It's a men's large, so it's nice and oversized. I can wear it over things. It's just an overshirt or almost like a tunic or a long dress. I can belt it. It's really nice and thick and a bit of a different material than my other ones. It's a nice size so me and Julie can share it. So I've got this. And then around the same time, I also picked this up. It's Courageous, I believe that's how you say it. Little mock neck. It's a turquoise short sleeve, just a little knit here, pretty much in brand new condition from Consign Toronto. They have a new location now that's closer to Bathurst on Queen. Their other one's a bit further west, and I find that the brands are more luxury designers, so like Chanel, Fendi, Louis, those kinds of brands. Whereas this location has kind of like younger, cooler brands, I find, just more up my alley at least. So I got this there for $50, which is a steal because I was actually gonna get something similar but long sleeve, white, mock neck during the Essence sale back in the winter time, but it was like $300-400, which wasn't something I totally wanted to spend on a turtleneck at the time. So this is really nice. And then yesterday, we made a quick pit stop at Value Village after brunch, and I just picked up this nice gray snakeskin belt, just kind of easy, goes over everything. And then I also picked up these white, just simple dress pants. It's got that nice pleat right down the middle, and it's the perfect length, so I didn't have to get them hemmed. And yeah, they're not too see-through, which I like, and so I wore like a really cool all-white outfit yesterday, white turtleneck with these, and just like a cool blazer over top. I think that looks super cool.
I just picked up these Mountain Research pants, another Japanese brand, as you can tell by the rest of my closet is mostly Japanese. They're just like a patchwork cargo pant. When I first met Julia, I wore nothing but cargo pants, and they all looked the exact same. Ask Julia, she said I used to look like a carpenter. But yeah, so I kind of got out of that, and I was really wanting another pair of cargo pants, something a bit different and special. So I grabbed these. They're quite expensive, but I thought it was well worth the price just because, as they are patchwork, if they ever do tear or deteriorate, I can just kind of upcycle them and patch them up again. Right now, there's currently 5 different actual fabrics on there, so it's a lot of pretty serious craftsmanship that went into these, which makes me justify the price. You'll see me a lot in these this summer, maybe Julia too even.
This next thing is definitely kind of special. I'm really excited about it. It's just a beautiful piece. I wore it on our anniversary dinner the other night, just actually under the pants I'm wearing right now, which I'll get to, but it's this beautiful vintage Versace velour romper. And it's just got these cups here, which, you know, I don't really have much to fill up, but they're there. And these adjustable straps, which is nice because I find straps are always too long on me because I don't really have a chest, but it's just so beautiful. And I actually picked this up at the Toronto Design Market, which is in Parkdale, super Queen West.
Parkdale!
Yeah, it was great. The owner gave me a little bit of a discount. I think it was originally either $125 or $150, which is already pretty nice for vintage Versace. Such a beautiful piece, I think. While we were at the flea market yesterday, I also just picked up this grommet belt, nice and easy, $4, can't go wrong. It's just been something that I've been looking for, but haven't been able to justify paying for, just because I feel like a lot of retail shops now, because they are kind of trendy, mark up the prices so much. So I see them for like $30. One time I saw it at the thrift store for like $8 or $9, which I still thought was kind of expensive. But this was $4 at the flea market. Can't really go wrong. And then the last 2 things I picked up were actually just these wool pants that I've been wearing a ton just lately. You've probably seen them in our last few videos. And I also got these at Value Village. So this first pair here is actually Tory Burch, which is definitely not a brand that I would ever gravitate towards, but actually a really nice pair of pants, especially for being from the Thrift. So just nice wool. It's like this brown speckled wool, a little bit long, so I just got these hemmed. And then the second pair, I'll show you right here. I'm actually wearing them. Stand up. So these are these wool navy pants trousers, and they're actually Marc Jacobs. They're mainline Marc Jacobs, which is, you know, not marked by Marc Jacobs. Definitely a little bit more expensive. I think something like this would probably run for around $1,000. Mainline Marc Jacobs is actually pretty expensive. It's quite expensive. Not something I, again, would definitely normally gravitate towards, but for being from Value Village, I feel like I just couldn't really pass it up. Paid $10 to get them hemmed, fixed a few snags and holes in them, and yeah, they're pretty much brand spanking new.
Lastly is this pretty fancy jacket I got from a friend. I've known this guy for a couple years. He is quite the shopper himself. Definitely in a different tax bracket than myself. It's this Visvim troop jacket, I believe it's called. And it's basically just like a vintage style varsity jacket with a collar. I don't often wear varsity jackets just because I have a pretty long torso and they look really short on me. But I've always liked this style just because the collar makes it a bit more 70s, a bit more funky. The great thing about this is, despite the crazy price point, it's double-sided. So on one side it's like a rayon, so you can kind of get your greaser look on with your spread collar and just like white piping, which is nice. And on the other side, it's just like a really nice wool with horse leather detailing, which is really nice. My like full leather jacket, my rider style jacket, is a horse leather as well, which it's been really durable. I've had it for just about a year now, and like I said, this is really special to me. It's like a very classic style in probably the most expensive price you can find for a varsity jacket, not gonna lie. And I got it for free.
Just quickly, my new glasses that you saw us pick up in our last vlog, but you didn't get to see what they actually look like, just these vintage frames. Here they are. Yeah, and now I don't have to wear my broken glasses that I've been wearing for the last 6 months anymore.
Julian and I are always shopping, so we are always getting new stuff. We'll try to do this a bit more. I have a bunch more stuff at my actual apartment that I didn't get to show today. But word of advice to anyone who does shop a lot or as much as us, I'm always just getting clothes, so I try to, whenever I add something to my closet, I try to get rid of or sell another piece, just so there's not a crazy amount of clothes, and just to promote the upcycling of clothes. As much as I love clothes, it's a very wasteful industry. There's so much water and resources go into just making a t-shirt even. It's best for us to do our part and upcycle or recycle clothes, so that's why Julia and I do try to thrift as much as possible.
And even as much as we love designers, I really think it's awesome to find like vintage designer as well. So that's why we thrift so much at like vintage consignment stores and stuff like that. You can still get the designer piece for a fraction of the price, and it's recycling.
We try to do our best. See you guys in the next time.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Baby.